Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner might look like a power couple straight out of a glossy magazine, but if you scratch beneath the surface, there are a few red flags that raise eyebrows, and some people even think they might be headed for a split. Let's rewind to the beginning. Believe it or not, their love story started with rejection. In his memoir, Breaking History, Jared revealed that he actually broke up with Ivanka early in their relationship. Why? Religion. Jared was raised in a modern Orthodox Jewish household, while Ivanka grew up Presbyterian, and apparently his parents weren't thrilled about the idea of their son marrying outside the faith. Ouch. Jared wrote, "As hard and painful as it was, I broke up with her." Ivanka's response? She told him it was the worst decision of his life. And honestly, she might have been right, because they did get back together, and she converted to Judaism.
Well, it's such a personal decision. I tend not to talk about it in a public forum, but my father was very supportive.
But even then, things were far from smooth. Jared shared that while Donald Trump didn't mind Ivanka converting, he had someone else in mind for his daughter, Tom Brady.
Well, I'm a daughter, not a clone, of course. There are times when I've disagreed with him.
According to the New York Times, Trump was once overheard saying, "I could have had Tom Brady. Instead, I got Jared Kushner." Kidding or not, that's got to sting. Now, when it comes to romance, Jared's game isn't exactly A-list. Ivanka once joked that their date nights usually end up at one of Jared's real estate developments. She said, "We went to this great restaurant in Brooklyn, and next thing I know, I'm standing on the roof of Whole Foods in the pouring rain, looking at a construction site at midnight." Romantic, right?
Real estate is my first passion.
To be fair, things seem a bit more glamorous lately. Since stepping away from the political spotlight, the couple has shared some luxe vacation moments on Instagram, from Ibiza to India. But don't be fooled by the picture-perfect posts. When Ivanka was called to testify in her father's New York fraud trial, Jared was nowhere to be seen. Seriously, he stayed behind in Miami. Page 6 reported he didn't make the trip, which raised a lot of questions. Was he just trying to stay out of the headlines? Or was he playing super dad holding down the fort with their 3 kids? Arabella, Joseph, and Theodore? That theory's not wild. Ivanka said before that Jared is incredibly hands-on as a dad, and with a nanny and his mom living nearby, he had backup. Still, it's hard to ignore that he wasn't there when things got tough. And speaking of questionable moments, let's talk gifts. When you've got $1 billion combined net worth, you'd expect some jaw-dropping presents, right? Well, Jared once gave Ivanka an immersion blender. Yep, that's what she told the Wall Street Journal. To be fair, she did say she loves cooking, especially soups, but still, blenders aren't exactly the love language of billionaires. Ivanka herself admitted, "I love to cook, and Jared loves to eat," which makes the whole thing feel a little too 1950s housewife for some people's taste.
Well, traditional, of course.
Then there's the elephant in the room, the rumors. In 2022, Radar Online quoted a source saying the couple's marriage was turning toxic. According to The Insider, things were falling apart, and the two could barely hide their tension, even in public. One of the rumored sticking points? Ivanka's supposed interest in returning to the White House scene, something Jared reportedly wants no part of. If he's trying to protect their image and career, stepping back into politics could be a deal breaker.
It's just life.
And fans definitely noticed when Ivanka started popping up in public without her wedding ring. Once, maybe a coincidence, but more than once, people started whispering. Now let's rewind a bit and talk about how this dynamic duo first got together, because their love story is a pretty sweet one. Ivanka and Jared were both 25 when they were set up by friends for what was supposed to be a business lunch to talk real estate.
When we started dating, I told her that if I wasn't so attracted to her, she'd just be my best friend. And
little did their friends know, they'd end up hitting it off in a whole different way. Ivanka told Vogue in 2015, "They very innocently set us up thinking that our only interest in one another would be transactional." She laughed about it, saying, "Whenever we see them, we're like, the best deal we ever made."
So we're very, very proud of that.
The couple made it official on October 25th, 2009, with a big wedding at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey. And of course, Ivanka wore a stunning Vera Wang gown. Oh, what a glamorous event. The guest list included her dad, Donald Trump, and even Regis Philbin, who performed at the reception. Classy, right? A few years later, they started building their family. Their first child, Arabella Rose, was born on July 17, 2011. Then, on October 14, 2013, they welcomed their son, Joseph Frederick. Their youngest son, Theodore James, arrived on March 27, 2016. It's safe to say they've got their hands full.
And it's really fun as a parent to watch them interact with each other.
Ivanka has been open about her experience with motherhood and how she's learned to go with the flow.
With Arabella, I was very nervous, as any first-time mom is, about dropping her, about everything. About will she ever sleep through the night.
Sound familiar to any parents out there? By the time Joseph and Theodore came along, though, she said she had relaxed a lot more.
With Theodore, I'm much more relaxed because I realize this really special moment is so fleeting. So I'm much more present when I'm with him.
When her dad took office in 2017, Ivanka packed up the family and moved to D.C. to support his administration. Both she and Jared stepped into senior advisor roles, even hitting the campaign trail with Donald in 2016 and speaking at the Republican National Convention.
How could somebody successfully win the presidency who had never been engaged in politics? And my father did that, and Jared was instrumental in helping his campaign succeed.
It was a wild ride, but once it wrapped up, they headed for a quieter life in Surfside, Florida, a little town just south of Miami with only 6,000 people, perfect for keeping things low-key.
It's just life. It's just life.
According to a friend of Jared's who spoke to People in April 2022, they're really just settling into normal life and really enjoying it. Ivanka has picked up some new hobbies like surfing, golfing, and tennis. Meanwhile, Jared has been focused on a new entrepreneurial venture.
You know, we were always involved in each other's business and knew what was going on, but working together has given me an even greater appreciation for just how effective she is.
But the best part? They're finally spending more time with their kids.
And I am very vehemently against family separation.
The friend explained, Jared's spending a lot more time with his family because over the last 4 years, that was something neither of them could do as much as they wanted to. Jared has even said, the nice thing about Miami is the moment you stop working, you're on vacation. Sounds pretty sweet, right?
I am driven, first and foremost, by my kids and their happiness, so that's always going to be my top priority. And
as for their relationship with Donald, well, it's definitely changed since their days in the White House. According to the same source, they only visit Mar-a-Lago, Donald's Florida home, every few weeks. It's definitely less than in their time in the White House, where they would see him every single day. It seems like they're enjoying this new chapter of their lives, focusing more on family and less on politics.
And you have to figure out how to move all the pieces to make it the life you want to live.
Despite their retreat from the political scene, the couple hasn't entirely escaped the headlines. In February 2023, both Ivanka and Jared were subpoenaed as part of a federal investigation into the January 6th Capitol riots. They had already been questioned by a House committee about that day, which later recommended charges against Donald. But it seems like they're doing their best to move on from that chapter and focus on their life in Florida.
I am not focused on politics, I'm focused on our business.
All in all, it seems like Ivanka and Jared are fully embracing the quieter life, far away from the nonstop hustle of DC politics.
So Theo, what are we doing now?
Finishing the puzzle.
How long have we worked on this for?
3 days, 4 days.
We put a lot of time in?
Yes.
Have we had fun?
Yes.
How does that feel?
Good.
How do we do?
Good.
Wait, let's do the handshake.
They've swapped out campaign rallies for quality family time, and honestly, after the chaos of the last few years, who could blame them? But what do you think? Was it the right move for them to step back from politics and focus on family life? Let us know.